And Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is getting some buzz at the box office.
That's right. Matt Perrin shares his take on the film in your Monday Movie Musings.
Welcome to another Monday. The Lion King kept its crown as the #1 movie at the box office. However, its numbers dipped more than expected. Still, combining its performance with the new release that came in second, and we have another week that performed better than the same week last year. Of course, I can't review The Lion King twice, so I took in what, according to IMDb, is one of the most anticipated films of the summer. The 9th film from Quentin Tarantino takes us back to the golden age of Tinseltown, and without any further ado, here's my take on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Our film begins in 1969 Hollywood. Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and his stunt double, Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, are trying to survive in the glitz and glamour that may have already passed them by. Rick was the lead of a TV show for a long stretch until he quit to pursue what can only be described as a lackluster film career. He now makes appearances as the bad guy on new shows, but is coming to the realization that his career may be dwindling away. Meanwhile, Cliff hasn't done stunts in a good while and acts more as a valet to Rick. We see in flashbacks how he may have sabotaged his own career, but we get to enjoy the camaraderie between the two. Rick lives in the Hollywood Hills next to acclaimed director Roman Polanski and his wife Sharon Tate, who is portrayed by Margot Robbie in this film. We see Tate living a starlet's life, attending parties at the Playboy Mansion, having fun, and sneaking into showings of her own movies. As the movie progresses, we see each of our storylines playing out, waiting for their eventual convergence. We see Rick doing everything he can to be relevant again, even taking things rather harshly if he falls short. We see Cliff stumbling upon a group of hippies that he visits their commune and their supposed family, headed by one Charlie Manson. As the golden age of Hollywood starts to fade, we as the audience watch, hoping that Rick's career doesn't fade as well. But worse than his career, we hope that the relationship between Rick and Cliff can avoid fading away. With a classic soundtrack, we groove along to the film, waiting to see how this unfortunate moment in history is actually going to play out. So, what to say about this one? First off, I mentioned that this was one of the most anticipated movies of the summer, and that included me. For the most part, I really enjoy the Quentin Tarantino universe and look forward to a release of a new movie from him. That being said, I have often warned against being too excited for a film, and this turned out to be no exception. While watching it, I found myself becoming bored many times throughout. A lot of the movie just drags and drags as you wait for something to happen. I found myself wondering if this would be the first Tarantino film that I just really didn't care about. But then it all pays off in the end. This movie has one of the most fun and satisfying endings of all of his films. It's definitely worth the wait. Of course, the cast is fantastic and expansive. DiCaprio and Pitt are extremely fun to watch together, plus seeing Brad Pitt fight Bruce Lee is just fantastic. I just kind of wish that scene lasted a little longer. The rest of the cast all work out great as well, and you constantly see someone you know, even in the smallest little part. It was a little heartwarming seeing Luke Perry again, knowing he's gone now, and the same would have been said for Burt Reynolds, but unfortunately we lost him right before filming. In all honesty, as I was writing this and watching the trailers again, I look back on the movie a little more fondly than when I was actually watching it, so maybe with a couple of repeat viewings, the whole thing will grow on me, but the climax is still well worth the journey. Plus, if you've seen all of Tarantino's other films, there's no way you can miss this one. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
All right, Matt, appreciate it. Coming up, though, Tyler, he's got a last look at that forecast for us.
That's right. The news at noon continues in just a few moments.